at alive, on alive. How many of you are alive today? How many of you are more alive today than you were last year? Anyone? Yeah. It's that, like the song, "The nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away," is not a good song. And I usually sing that a couple times, saying, "Don't sing that song," and then I sing it again, and whatever. So I'm realizing at my current age that I'm actually younger than I was 30 years ago. So I'm loving on that, and I'm inviting everyone to go, "Oh yes, let us be youthing." Yes, and of course, if you have euthanasia, that's not so good. So we have to call that something else. But how many like the idea of getting younger and younger every day? Just again, I shared it already, staying post-pubescent for obvious reasons. All right, so today is let's see, June something 7, 2022. This is alive. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for being visual. Imagine it's like in the afternoon for lunch with Philip. I imagine, is it afternoon? Yeah, he's having lunch. How many having breakfast? How many are waking up at dark 30? That's really good. Cool. All right, so here's my question. This is going to be a Q&A, and this is for everyone, whether you're on Zoom land or whether you're on Facebook land or YouTube land or whatever, watching it in the ethers later. For me, I'm sharing, we're in the middle of a major transformation. We're getting abified and Janicized, and these are two of our new team members who, hello, like they may be upgrading with the what we're doing, and we're upgrading with what they're doing. So instead of the mating of eagles flying, locked in, wings go out and they spiral down, our wings are out and we're spiraling up. It's really fun. So it's very good. So here's my question. Since we're transforming everything, we have this session, and we may or may not be able to do Thursday just because we're not. That's good. Thank you very much. I love that somebody in the crowd. Yes, we're not doing it. We got a lot of too many things. So this is the last one potentially, because we're going to shift how we're doing it. So I love Wendy's over there going, "Hello, got this going on." So here's my outcome. So if you have the book, My Word Made Flesh, on that, the new version 2, it says on page 12, engage your limitation, love it, put it into words with sacred body language translation, get specific with specificity factors. If you can say specificity 10 times, you can have anything. Frequently people go specificity, and somebody else like me goes specificity 10 times. Okay, so now you know that joke, just in case you're ever with me in person. Then reverse the curse or upgrade, and I really believe it's a little of both, with conscious language decrees. These decrees, every decree in this book is something I have used, crafted until the shift happened for the individual. Their fibers changed, they lit up, they walked new, every single one. I didn't have to look any of them up when I wrote the book. You can imagine that's how long I've been in the game, figuring out how to, not my little self. I've been sponsored in understanding how to do that from my spiritual self. So, and then shift, step 5, shift into already having with imagination activation. Step 6, change your frequency with conscious nutrition and faith builders. And I'm going to add and use pure essential oils every step of the way. Doesn't matter which one, maybe not. I'm just sharing, and we've got an article in there that Cynthia put together. Maybe just get an oil, because the minute we smell, we use the olfactory, it sets aside our intellect, where doubt or thought forms or limitations or genetics or whatever can be in there. So yes, get the one that you love, get the one that's specific for whatever, and use what you got. I always walk around with peppermint in my pocket and thieves in my pocket. And thank God they've all these years, forever, since the 90s, that the tops have stayed on. I'm so grateful, for obvious reasons. All right, so then, and again, how many know if you change your like start eating raw or live foods, you start moving up scale? Anyone? How many know if you eat a lot of if you're traveling and you go, let's stop and get gas? Some of you already, like my team, here's Victoria's looking down. Oh, God, she's good. And Cynthia's just going, No. So if you stop, how many of you ever stopped and got gas and realized it would have been better to say, I'm going to stop and get fuel? Because how many ate at the gas station afterward going, oh, what's roll down the window? What's going on? All right. So how many realize the better you bless your food, you love your food, you eat live foods, living foods, greens, a blend of, fruit in season, ripe, always by itself because it doesn't blend. How many have ever, like, why is chili such a challenge? Because it's got tomatoes and beans. So you got fruit and you got a protein, and usually the beans are not soaked. So they have enzyme inhibitors, which is a gaseous producing thing. Got it? So, by learning food combining and all the other stuff, we can actually move up scale. So once we start loving and blessing everything we eat and we start moving up scale, look how Abe has changed, everyone. Abe looks so different today. He used to have black hair. Oh, that's Michelle. That was so good. That was really awesome. Thank you, dear. I was having fun. All right. So, anyway, step one. Every one of these steps is essential. That's what you got a piece of when we're doing this thing together. But how many go, oh, that was a nice Zoom or whatever, I didn't get called on? Yes, you did. If you wrote down 2 or 3 or 4 things, you now have a doorway you can walk through to your victory if you choose. But how many have a little self going, oh, I didn't get called on? Must not be my time. And Philip goes, I called on myself. I walked up scale. And somebody else could go, Philip called on himself and he walked himself up scale. Look, all of us, we're in the middle of this. The door is open. So when you pose the question, the universe has to answer. If you ask a question, why am I a ding dong? You'll get an answer why you're a ding dong, and the front door will go ding dong, whatever. If you ask a question, the answer of which blesses you, you're in an intelligent position. Our body language is always going on. How many like the idea of partnering with your spirit through the signals of your form? How many like that? How many, you mean I can get additional information? And how many have seen it going on? How many have seen? And even though I'm going to write down shoulder, elbow, write down 3 or 4 things, then you go back to the book and you start looking them up. Now, the key is whatever you look up, you have to, in my take, you have to go to step 1. Whatever comes up, let it be okay. I love it, touch or breathe, stay, I feel. This is where the essential oils that apply at this, smell them. Got it? Smell them. Like for me, I use peppermint gustatory. I lick it. I pass around in every class. In fact, I have not as anywhere near as many empty peppermint oil bottles now because I have not been on tour for 3 freaking years. Normally I would have I eventually have to join them all together because they've got a little bit, and anyway. So I use peppermint a lot, but if I taste it, it's way different than if I smell it. Smell is what this book is about. Besides all the other things the essential oils do is, it's the blood of the plant. It has all kinds of, great stuff in it. I'll leave it at that. My request is you realize, I'm only a couple steps away from my victorious life. What? I am only a couple steps away from my victorious life. What? And I mean, not inside of our box. Scripture, again, not religion. It says, I will pour you, me. Yep. I will pour you out a blessing greater than you can contain. Pressed down and overflowing. What's that about? That's so you'll know me by the fruit of my labor. When somebody is overflowing with grace, let's say if I ask for X and I get 30X, 30 times what I asked for, now we know it's spiritual. How many know it's from on high? It's grace, whatever word you use. It's God delivered for me. And how many get our little self is just fine, not being just fine? How many know what I'm talking about now? I don't, it's not, it's in, how many have renegotiated from enthusiasm to pain? If you have pain, that's to get us back into enthusiasm. If you do an end run around pain, enthusiasm, pain, anger, you prick, now you can blame somebody for taking away your enthusiasm by giving you pain. And enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear. And then if we don't like anger, because it's not fun to hang out in anger, Is it? How many like hanging out with angry people? No. So then if we drop lower, we go to fear. What if it's always enthusiasm inverted? Enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear, grief. Oh, now, oh, woe is me. I've always felt this way. No one's ever always felt anyway. Enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear, grief, apathy. I can't. It's too hard. Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. And then below that, once you start down scale, it's a slippery slope. It's the mortal coil. Enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear, grief, apathy, and I don't have a clue. And I can prove it. I'm with fusion. That means confusion. I'm with fusion. Hello, how are you today? I'm with fusion. How many have ever claimed fusion, confusion? Come on, how do you feel? Confused? It's not a feeling. Claudia's working her lip right on that one. She's doing. I can't quite do it. But she was pulling information from her upper conscious lip into her feeling world. I mean, is that the coolest? I can sit here and learn everything about body language by just watching all y'all. Some are putting lotion on, so I have to, like Wendy. So I have to. No, you're not. I thought you were, but a little while. Some people, when you're doing lotions and stuff, I got it. We'll talk in a minute. We'll get to that. It's all good. Well, her victory, whatever it is. All right. So how many of you are doing your best not to dig and scratch a little? But how many go over here, over here, over here? How many have some of that going on? And how many have something in you going, stop it? Right now, stop it. What are you doing? Anyone? And now how many have something go, no, somebody read me, please. I've been waiting for 50,000 years to understand what my heart has to say. Good. Okay. No more waiting. All right. So enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear, grief, apathy, and consciousness. We're going to apply this to body language, to conscious language, to imagination activation, to outcome facilitation, to conscious language decrees. And the minute you go, well, now that I'm thriving, write them down. My body just told me the shifts I require, something like that. You have to find what it means. The shifts I require are the blessings I get to agree to be thriving. That's all it took. And usually three or four, sometimes one or two steps. And how many have a little self going, I would if I could. I would. I even bought something on thriving. Have you read it? No, but I haven't. And I did take the action of buying it. And our body's going, dude, or dudette. So I'm going to go back and have an issue. Come on. How many have a little repeating pattern? How many get something to the point where your body's got an owie? Anyone? I can raise my hand on that. Even with the knowledge of all this stuff, it's like, oh, there's more to know, more to understand. Now notice the follow-up, the hand went up and then look. So do you get everything is conspiring, like inspiring us? Inspiration, conspiring. I just know how to, I'm going to work that word for a while, but for our good. The universe is tractor beaming us up, and we've got a little self in the past going, no, I don't want to. I don't know how. So if we go from entheos, God in you, that's entheos, root word for enthusiasm. If we step away from enthusiasm because we're a little too bright for our world, what? How many as a child were a little too bright for your parents? Anyone else? And you were taught usually around 3 years old, stop doing that. Stop pretending. And they found a way back when they thought the pituitary gland was the master gland. They did autopsies on children that were killed through accident, whatever, not through disease. And they found that the pineal was calcified. Therefore, they called the pituitary the master gland, because the pineal, after about 3, turned into a stone. And pineal is enthusiasm, entheos. It's a neuroendocrine transducer. It receives cosmic light. Whether you have eyes or not, it receives light and turns it into hormone, releasing hormones, targets the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the medulla thyroid. And that's the scale of emotions. So now our body is getting us back to entheos. Every life situation is going, yo, enthusiasm is the only way to play the game. Wow. So how many are going, oh, and how many have a little self that goes, I don't know. The minute you go, this is master commitment. Those that are doing it, we're going to go into this tonight. If you haven't done it, you can still sign up and do it tonight and listen to the materials. It's good. I'll put it that way. It's essential. So again, if I have a little self and my little self's running the show, it'll be, I don't know how to do that. The moment you have a goal, an inspiration, and your little self, your current reality says, I don't know how, you're in the right place. How many like knowing how? I do. Anyone else? I don't like. But how many have gone, I'm going to keep my world to know I know how to do this? The universe right now is saying, all right, everyone, you're going to expand beyond your current reality. What? You're going to expand beyond. Come on, how many know that? If you're serving at your next level, if you're blessing your world, if you're being blessed by your world, if you're activating your genius, if you're bringing harmony to your family, if you're whatever you're doing, growing awesome plants, building a community, building an infrastructure, building whatever, you will play at a bigger level. Our body will guide us that. The little self goes, I don't know how. The minute we say, I don't know how, you're in the right place. Why? Because you have to let go of what you know. And the K-N-O-W, there's N-O, no, and there's K-N-O-W, which does not say no. It says K now. What? So, some of you may be going, yeah. But do you get that when you say, I know what to do, you're saying, I know what to do. You know what I mean? You say no to what I mean? Would you rather know or experience? Hello? Our body language is experience. That lets us know we're working in a whole different saturation of energetics. Anyone? How many have scratched and didn't you know you were doing it? How many have? Well, your head's going, I don't know. I don't know. I would like to. Anyone? So we got this little knower in there. Yes, the teeny, what 30 bits of information a second max, maybe 10. We have a subconscious of our feeling world, what operates on something like 100 to 4, it depends on who you read, 100 to 400,000 bits of information a second. One's a dial-up. If you ever had dial-ups way back, anybody? Dial-up? We moved to North Carolina. I tell this story. And I had to change. We had a PS2 Model 50, IBM. We had 340 megabytes of hard drive. Mm-hmm. And I had to, there was an operating system upgrade. And so I went on the dial-up, my internet connection, and it said something like, I said upgrade, and it said 3 days and 71 hours and 82,000 million seconds, whatever. And it was like, I could have it mailed, the disk mailed to me quicker. Our intellect, not right or wrong, is a dial-up. Our feeling world, our heart, operates at a lot faster, like quantum faster. Our body language signals are operating from our heart, and they're experiential. How many are going, oh yeah, I've got a temple of the Most High Living God, which is what my spirit occupies. And it's a biocomputer. Now, how many are going, let's see, on the last alive, I touched this, and this. Somebody else went, you can now go to the book and go, and go to where that is in your body and look it up. Do you have this going on? Ask yourself the question. Yes, you work it until you get it right. And then you go, all right, now you go give the conscious language decrease. And maybe there's 6, maybe there's 3, whatever. And there may be all or one that is home run. That's the point. You stick with that one. Unless all of them. I'm being my brother Philip right now. Now, do you get this is not thinking? This is experiential. This is my good brother Philip over there in England going, oh, I'm going to take my intellect and feel a lot. I'm going to take what I think I know and feel a lot. Oh, yeah, baby. Anyway, I'm sure he's not doing it quite in Elvis's voice, but that's what I can add to it. How y'all doing? How many realize, oh, I've got a much bigger self? Anyone? Please make me right. Codependently? Anyone? So some are going, that was Dawn. I can't quite do Dawn's look, but now she's smiling, so that doesn't work. But you must unlearn. Thank you. Look at that. She has a pop-up. She has a pop-up like I had a pop-up this morning. When they become mom-ups, they're going to be a lot more fun. All right. Just kidding. So now, how many know I use a lot of humor? Why? Because hatha yoga helps let go of the old stuff. So Philip has entered the state of every one of my points are firing off now. So now, all right, you mean to say that all I got to do is ask the first question of my first signal and go, yeah, oh yeah. And then here's my decree. That next signal, go to it. You might have other ones, you can read them, but go find those 3 or 4 things that gave it, because they're your marching papers. How many get, oh, that's how good this is. That's how awesome you created, number 1, to be in tune with your creator, number 2. And our creator don't make no jump. Even now, how many are having to let go of old perceptions just even hearing this concept? And if you let go of one old perception, let your new one come in. Anyone? How many are going, golly, you mean to say I am already what I desire to be? Yes. Scripture, before you have asked, I have answered. What? I've shared this now for a while. I mean, many thousands of moments of now. And I cry every time in a good way. Every time in a good way. Bob, what? Before you have asked, I have answered. What? How can you do that? I'm not bound by space and time. Our creator is everywhere. There's no space and time to our creator. There's only I am. And Bob, what? When you pray, yeah, ask, call, demand, claim, voice. Believing you receive and you receive. And for me, I used to think believe was a mental state. I got to believe it. No, be alive in it. What is your body doing in body language, in signals, dynamic body language? It's waking up the experience of being alive in. Believe, be alive in. That means there's nothing we have to change outside. As we think in our heart, so am we. I mean, the way I see it now, and especially with all that I've been through in the last little bit, every one of us will have to surrender every illusion, but it's much easier to transform the surrender into what it actually is in perfection. How many love the idea that, oh, our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength? Yes. And if I can just, and that's true for me now, again, when I read Eyes as an example, when I first got this decades ago, and I saw somebody's challenge, I saw right through it. I knew inside, after doing so much body electronics, I knew that if they had fear, they actually had massive courage. So I didn't read it as fear. I didn't even energetically address it. I might have mentioned it to them, but for me, it was like the kid hiding behind a, can't see me. How many have been the little ones that they're hiding behind a straw going, where'd they go? We're like the adults. Where'd they go? Where's little Jimmy? Where'd they go? Come on. That's the universe. We're hiding behind a straw. And our great self, come on. How many know you all have a great self? Yes or no? Come on now. I'm going to have a little self that you've been going, what else, little self? I believe in you. I bow down to you. I bow down to lack and limitation on struggle. And I have to prove my limitation and lack and struggle every moment of every day. Otherwise, if I would just rest for a second, my great self would come online and go, and the illusion would be over. Light is on. Thank you very much. But how many have gone, no, the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away, this song, got it? Paul Simon, whatever. But do you get, oh, wait a minute. We ate from the fruit of the tree, metaphor of the knowledge or thinking of good and evil and right and wrong and shame, blame, guilt, you, me, right, whatever, and fell from, at that moment, grace and became embarrassed by Cracky and had the fig leaf figure out what to do to hide our embarrassment. And then maybe everybody went through that to come to EARTHEARTHEART. So that we don't create by right and wrong and ever again. Every one of us is a universe in training. If we look inside of us, my electron microscope, if we look out in the heavens, New Hubble, we see the exact same thing. Every person you meet is a universe in training. Every image in the mirror you see is a universe in training. And if we all get, I'm not going to create in right and wrong anymore. I'm going to create in love. And think about it. We came to Earth, EARTHEA. It's like the way the Shakespearean plays are written in cipher code. Shift a letter. Scared, sacred. Same letters. So now do you get my body language is experiential. I'm going to get my body language. So knowing, K-N-O-W, knowing. I know how to move upscale. Good. I mean, I get it. I use the words. What time is it? I don't know. I can find out. Okay. But how many love the idea of going, I am already thriving. I am already, I just changed space and time, thriving. And now that I am already thriving, my body, and that was real, my body will tell me what to go do. So my right hand went to my heart automatically. I didn't cognitively do that. So I am already thriving. Boom. All 5 fingers. Boom. My chest, my heart. I love with all my heart. Is me already thriving? I love with all my heart. Is me already thriving? And now that I have agreed with my body language, I add my agreement to it. How many get, this is for me to agree with the blessing that's being delivered or that I am. So the master commitment has got me on this particular page. Again, if you haven't done it, join us tonight. Find out about it. So, and those that are doing it, this is a big deal that once we live our, what I call conscious creative commitment, CCC, and we go find our repeating patterns, I call them OTCCs, other than conscious commitments, like, and I do this and I almost did that, and get close to that, and all this has happened, and it didn't run out. And how many, again, even genetically, have stepped out of dreams and pulled back to a smaller dream, a smaller dream, a smaller dream, a smaller dream, until you're okay. And yet the universe is going, you're going to blossom. You're made by your creator, and you're here to let your creator furnish your world. Your creator's way. Permanent victory of light, permanent victory of love. And with the flop that's going on the planet is the illusion in its death spiral, awaiting for us to go, and I reverse you into this. I am peace in all of our nations. And every child secure, blessed, educated, loved. How many can get in that? How many put your power to that decree? Because it's true. Or so as I am already supplied. I'm permanently healthy. I am the resurrection and the life. Now, are you starting to get, okay? So when a standing wave, a static state, non-moving body language, pain somewhere happens, that's because we get to change something. Once we start changing, then the blessings that are being restored, I'm going to say this, I'll put it that way, may have to be agreed to before they land. I restore my blessings. I see the big picture, visual cortex. I make my right choice. I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, I will. Forget about it. No, I remember about it. Our expression, lower jaw feeling, upper jaw thought. All our teeth are thyroid, parathyroid, authority, authorship. So on that teeth, on the scale on consciousness, apathy, grief, fear, anger, that's where teeth are. Sugar, unconsciousness, apathy, grief, right around grief, pancreas, adrenals, that's where sugar issues are. Lymphatic stuff, right around I can't. Unconsciousness, apathy, I can't, it's hard. Grief, woe is me. After grief is anger or fear. Immune system, viral stuff. God is the only presence and power acting here. God is the only presence and power acting in me, through me, and around me. God is the only presence and power acting in me, through me, and around me. God is the only presence and power acting in me, through me, and around me. God is the only, and you, bam, you make it stronger and stronger until every cell in your body, like an MRI, go to agree. Then you keep giving it to the world. You ignite it everywhere you go. That's our mission in life. Our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. So if you run from a weakness, or if I run from a weakness, I'm going to run from my strength. Well, I don't know how. How many are you getting? My body will show me how. The universe, what? Show me how. Okay. And how many know we went from the Piscean age, not to the Aquarian age, we went to the Google age? How many know you can Google it? They didn't know how to, they didn't have the word Google back there when they're coming up with the Aquarian age, the water carrier. So they, I mean, how many go? You can, if you're going to go have surgery, you can go look up your surgeon and watch his last 15 surgeries on YouTube. And then you might go, now, when you make the incision on this one, I'd like you to knit it a little differently. Come on. How many like to get to the point where you don't need surgery? How many like getting to the point where you don't need drugs? Because we get everything from our food and plant kingdom and plant life and Mother Nature. Now, there are forces on the planet. No, there are not. There are forces on the planet that would say, no, there are not. God is the only presence and power acting in me, through me, and around me. God is the only presence and power acting in our health care instead of disease management. Healthcare. So now how many are getting, I'm watching my time. I get on a roll. This is pretty funny when I think we're going to do this today. Well, we'll see. But you get, oh, I am glorious beyond measure. You are. How many have talking yourself out of your gloriousness just to be comfy to be with other people? How many have slowed down or dumbed down until you're, I remember on the playground, Marble School, East Lansing, Michigan. First grade. On the playground. I remembered if I'm going to have friends, I'm not going to be able to, I have to dumb down. I had to, couldn't be as sharp and as quick as what I dumbed down. So I have kids to play with. Anybody else? How many realize when you shine like the noonday sun, you're not necessarily comfortable to be with? For the person riding the brake. So is that important for us to take our light down to a couple notches so we're comfy to be with, or to forgive them having their foot on the brake and vote their victory? Much of our body language might be the restoration of someone else. What? Much of our body language might be our way to energetically upgrade something in us that is actually helping everyone else. How many can be about it now if it's not just your little wounded self? What if it's your glorious self bringing greater and greater and greater light and commitment and whatever else into the consciousness of the oneness of all of us on the planet? So, now that I'm thriving, and your body goes, dunk, 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 dunk. You said, now that I am thriving. You just did imagination activation. You folded space and time. Now that I am thriving. You claim by word a new state of being. Your body will tell you what you get to do, agree to, or whatever it is to already be thriving. And how many have a little self that goes, I don't know how you exactly. I have ways you know not of, Bob, and they're beyond finding out, Bob, or you do it for you. I like that. I don't like it for my little self, and I love it for my great self. I have ways you know not of, Bob. What? How come? I would like to know how. You have to walk by faith. What? I walk by faith, not by sight. You mean I have to actually have immaculate faith? Yes. How many are going, yeah, but a little bit would be better? No. How many been in that? No, I'm improving. How many done it? Look, all in or not at all. You're either for me or against me. Oh, what? You're either for me or against me. You're either in the boat or out of the boat. How many going, that's a recommit. I recommit. Never judge, condemn, criticize yourself or anybody else. I just recommit. I jump back in the boat. I jump back in my boat. I jump back in my boat. Jump back in my boat. Jump back in my boat. Now that I'm in my boat, now that I'm secure being in my boat, I go do this. And they always make sure you walk through the door and turn the lights on. How many have a little self? I don't know. Walk through. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What motion, direction, tactility, touch, pressure, internal experience, external experience is going on for you? Well, I'm listening to this. I hear this. You are now starting to conceptualize and crystallize, so to speak, your new world into existence right now. Without effort, by grace. Without effort. You'll know my grace. It's without effort. Without effort, by grace. And Bob, what? I have ways you know not of. And they're beyond finding out. So the minute I say, now that I am thriving, angels of thriving rearrange my world if and as I walk forward in my new thriving state. My body will tell you I reclaim my class, I kind of well, I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. I raise my frequency. Essential oils set aside, help set aside, I like that better, our self-doubt, our limitations, our reasons, our treasons, our, well, I would if I could, if I knew how. I go to prepare a place for you. If it were not so, I would have told you. That's our great self. And that our place, so to speak, is, besides any physical manifestation, is consciousness. Now, how many get, oh, I've got an active, how many have an active consciousness that's been agreeing with your limitation? And one way to know is that you judge others. For me, I remember when I started gaining weight is when I disliked somebody else that was fat. I went, oh, I don't like that fat. And my body went, oh, you like some fat? Okay. That sucks. What, Bob, what? What you put your attention upon, that you become. How many wish you had 40 years of the fat you had back then compared to the fat you have now? How many had a little teeny bulge on your waistline going, oh no, and now you wish, I wish I could have that little teeny bulge on my waistline instead of a whole planet out my belly. Anyone? Come on. Come on. Am I the only one? I mean, even though I'm 40 pounds later, I still got some planetary action here. Anybody? Don't spit on the screen, Cynthia. Go just, all right. So do you get your signals in there? How many got some signals? Many of us have been on, maybe everybody's been on before. How many have gotten, wrote 1 or 2, 3, over a couple periods of time? How many have done 1, 2, 3 things? How many have? And how many didn't follow up? No, I'm no wrong. You're telling yourself, if you didn't follow up, not wrong. I'm not doing it. Let it be okay. I forgive myself for not following up instead of having to join it. Cynthia, hello. Anyway, and notice your body language still going on. If you didn't follow up, just hate that or forgive it. Your choice. Or we have a 12-step program you can join. Hello, my name's Bob, and I didn't follow up. How about I recommit? Because the door is always open. I am the open door. I got it. I am the open door that no man can shut. No. Anyone? I am. That's the state of the anointed self. I am that's a Christ statement. I am the open door that no man can shut. And the Christ statement is we have a Christ self within for those who can use that word. You don't have to use that word. It's still Christ, whether you do or don't. Some other systems call it a different word. There's only one God. How many get that? Many names. So now do you get, if I will just go back to what I wrote down or write it down, ask yourself a question. Now that I'm thriving, now that I'm happy, now that I'm healthy, now that I enjoy what I do, now that I'm living my mission in life. I didn't have to go figure out now what is my mission in life. I go, now that I'm living my mission in life, what's new and different for me? The whole system, step 1 through step 7, will take you through that. And with step 2, body language will let you know what to understand what's going on, and the freedom, the reversal, the restate versus speaking, the reversal of the pattern into what's meant to be. Let the weak man say, I am strong. That's the law. It's not let the weak man say, I joined Gold's Gym. That's the process. Our creator will give us the process. Our job is to go to the outcome. So conceptually, what are you getting in the system you can apply for yourself? Mic yourself and wait. All right, who's second? Mic yourself. There you go. Go ahead, Heather.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm hearing in a brand new way, walking through my door and living in my outcome with specificity. I mean, I've spent hours, hundreds of hours studying, and I'm brand new today in this information and this tool.
Well, what did that here? And with permission, everybody, because I love what you just said, Heather, and for our team, in my distinction thing, I like to know what got me new and different so I can re-click that over and over and over again. So what clicked that for you?
I choose to remember now the specific thing. What I realize I have been doing is reducing my shine because someone else has been on the break.
And so wait, stay with it. Stay with it. Voter victory, kids. This is the deal. So how can you go, oh, I'm reducing my shine? How do you know when you're doing that?
I start to feel.
Okay, wait, but you feel what?
I feel sad.
Okay, so wait, but feeling sad may be moving upscale.
Yes.
So how do you reduce your shine? Keep voting victory, kids. This is really important. You stay in the victory vote here.
I pull back.
And not that that's the right answer. This is for you.
Yes.
And so now the moment you pull back, what can you do?
I recommit.
Good. Awesome. Then what?
Yes. I love my pulling back.
Good. Now notice I recommit, and I take the charge off and let it be okay. I pull back. Why? Because if you make pulling back wrong, you're going to pull back more. Keep going.
I love all I feel about pulling back. And I ask my creator, what's my next step?
Cool. And then what happens? Now your body will start to tell you, because this is real. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what's
I
your
feel my
body
joy.
saying? Yeah. But what's your
I feel
body
my
saying
joy.
before you translate? How do you
Yes.
know in your body?
I feel my tears. I feel my like here opening up.
But again, this is called, it's right. I'm still going to share with it. If you don't have the trained mind, which Heather's got thousands of hours really in studying this stuff and coaching, helping other people, the trained mind too, will put it into what I know it is instead of name it and get really specific with it. So you were already saying, I feel my tear. So your body,
Feel my love.
What, again, that's still translating. Where is it in your body?
My throat.
Now, I'm going to use that as way different than what she said. Not right or wrong. So I now express throat what?
My love.
Say, I express my love.
I express my love.
To who?
My mom, my kids, my family, my world.
Good. So if she what, and now do you get what you were doing is that jump to already knowing it. So I call it an already listening. Instead of name where it is, ask what's happening now, honey. What signal in the body? First, find where it is.
My face. I'm feeling flesh in my face.
Good. So now I let my world see.
I let my world see me.
What? Yeah, say it again.
I let my world see me.
How about my real me?
I let my world see my real me.
And she brought up, I pull back my shine or whatever. So now I let my world see my shine.
I let my world see my shine.
Are you still guarding?
Yes.
Was not wrong, kids. Do you get it? Well, this is where having a coach is really helpful. I'll just tell you that right now, because we might be doing the best we can, and the coach is going to be going, are you still holding back? Well, yeah, do it. I mean, whatever. So now you're holding back and find out what's acting in there.
Yeah, but my hands are super sweaty now.
Good. So now I can handle.
I can handle my shine.
Say it again.
I can handle my shine.
And so can.
So can my world.
Yeah. Who?
My family.
Yeah. Yeah. And keep going. And then everyone, the body will come back and you come back again and come back again. How many love that? Do you understand that it's called transliteration? There's a translation and a transliteration where we make something up about what's happening. Me too. I've done it. Mine is not to do that. That's why our book, My Word Made Flesh Now, there's so much information there. This is what I'm operating on already. When I teach class, I can give a small percentage of that. And many have done this class, Sacred Body Language Translation, as an example, a whole bunch of hours of time, a whole bunch of times. Now with the book, it's like way more. I mean, I was like, I lost 9,000. I just gave 9,000. I walked upscale or downscale 9,000 times. All right. Anyway, I'm still going to almost do it again. It's funny. It is easier for people to get the outcome now by having the construct in a visual form to be able to read it. Notice I couldn't slide that back. I had to go back. It came out 3 times. So that means I want consciousness, apathy, grief, which I have, joy, returning, about having our book in delivery system for people to go in their own time and go read it. That's what's very funny about my itself. So Heather, what changes for you now that it's been a year? Mic yourself while you're thinking.
I'm letting my art be seen.
Yeah, but make it personal. See, you're still living through your art. Wuss.
Yes.
If I make a pretty picture, I'll be okay. And you make pretty pictures. What's even grander than your art?
Me.
Yeah, me what?
Me shine me.
You say it again.
Me shine me.
And what's your body say?
My eyes feeling
Well, point to it wherever it is.
here.
Okay, so now that's old emotion. Got it? Right below the eye. Old emotion. So I love what? The way I've been seen. I love the way I've been seen. How? Well, victory, kids. This is where you must stay for your benefit. I've got Heather covered. Got it? I mean, I'm voting her victory. Every one of you, to stay at this speed of velocity or velocity of love, you must be voting victory. If you're contemplating for yourself, it's okay. You just may not get the grace of, I let myself go and I am your victory in light. I'm your permanent victory in light. By you staying that, you enter a frequency of grace that as you bestow, you receive. You keep 60% of the victory you vote, and you get a minimum tenfold return. It's called the law of the tide, maybe 100, maybe 1,000-fold. Deuteronomy, read it. So now, do you get, dear, what, again, how, and the way you've been seen before is what's up. That's why you go to the body position. Because in the transliteration, you were assuming you knew what was going on. I did the same thing. Clear? I did the same thing, and it didn't help me. So if I can go and nail what's true, let the weak man admit their weakness. Think of that. It's not the person who senses weakness and chooses strength. It's the person, let the weak man who admitted, know the truth that sets you free, admit your weakness. And that brings it onto the altar of now. So how have you been seen? That's these areas right there. How do you feel you've been seen? Colon.
Too much.
Just keep going. Full sentences would be helpful.
I've been
First of all, are you riding the brake right now?
a little bit, yes.
Is the ship sinking? A little bit. I'm still worried about that. Yes. So just say it's okay to hold back.
It's okay to hold back.
So love the hold back so much that you get out of jail free for holding back forever. So say, yo, holding back so.
Yo, holding back so.
And what is it? What emotion is operational holding back?
Will you repeat that, please?
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? It's like that, kids. When you're coaching, some people are, I don't even know my name. Serious. Got it? So again, what enthusiasm, pain, anger, fear? Fear is what's up and holding
Fear,
back.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fear of
fear of losing love.
So now, do you get, all right, we're going to have to tweak this. Then instead of losing love, you're going to have to agree with what?
I already have love.
No, gaining love. That was the transliteration.
Yeah.
The mind goes, so the right answer is I already have. No, gaining. You go step word for word. Let the weak man say I'm strong. Then you can go, now that I'm strong. But do you get, this is why it's systematically so essential to follow the steps.
Yes.
Especially, this is a challenge, I can bring this to you now, challenging for us human beings, is those of us that get to know something think we already know it. Me too. And anybody knows my history, I went through major stuff recently. Got it? Now I got a whole new level of, all right, everybody walk around in your tube of light. That's what I got to tell you. If you haven't read the I Am Discourses, read your I Am Discourses or find some spiritual Christian or whatever it is where you walk around in a sphere or tube of light at all times. Why? Because there's crap in the world. Some of your best friends may be in a reactive pattern and you might be the scapegoat of it. How many like going, all right, I am the arms of my creator around me at all times. And then everyone put the arms of your creator around everyone you know. And one of the ways to do that is vote victory. I am my own permanent victory in light. I am your permanent victory in light. So now what are you getting, Heather?
Not to skip steps, first of all.
Yeah, how's that? No skipping the steps. No, see, how many saw that light come in there? How many saw it just for a second? Light came in. Look at that. She's going, oh, I figured it out. I don't get to skip steps. I got to do right. Well, come on. Anyone? So what's happening? Track your body.
Yeah. So I had this memory of skipping steps and falling, like a physical. So now I take each step.
Good. And what happens? What's your body say about taking each step? Listen, if you have a signal in your body.
Yeah. So like my jaw, my ears, this area.
Oh, now say, I love what I hear.
I love what I hear.
Say it again.
I love what I hear.
Say it again.
I love what I hear.
Now, are you trying to do it with poise? And do you have emotion moving?
Yes.
So are you trying to hide your emotion?
Yes.
Voter victory, kids. That's why I said from day one, voter victory. Start voter victory. Why? I'm going to make sure everybody feels secure.
Now I'm scratching the top of my thighs.
Yeah. Now I move forward.
I move forward.
Say it again.
I move forward. I move forward.
And then hearing what?
I move forward in hearing. My
Not
God.
in hearing. I move forward hearing what?
I move forward hearing God.
No, that's too much.
Mm.
So gain versus lose.
Mm-hmm.
Love, I gain love. So we'll go
forward
back there.
hearing.
I'm a stickler. Let's follow the rules of what we got. So I was losing love. I gain love. Say I gain love.
I gain love.
Say it again.
I gain love.
And what are you hearing now that you gain love?
Way to go.
From who?
My dad.
Good. Let it in. Actually hear it. Keep going. And then you don't have to tell us the rest. That's private. That's sacred, all that. But do you get, wow, I mean, I got to agree with this level of, yes, if you're going to let the world honor you for your art, your being, your love, your presence, all that stuff, I have to make an agreement. I broke my wrist, left wrist, as all this other stuff's going on, right when I'm going in for surgery, etc., because I'm going to have to receive in a whole new way. It started with my shoulder. I received my mother's love. What? And again, do you get, and then once I go, calm here, and my shoulder goes, we're going to rebuild, bone, rebuild, reknitting my bone together. You're going to create and receive and handle in a whole new way. How many love the idea of following the steps? So now it's been a year. What's new and different for you? Now this been 3 years. What's new and different for you?
My hands are on my knees right now.
All right. I partner with
God. I partner with.
Pause. Now, I'm not going to let her say any more, but the whole time she was looking up, mostly right, up, right, build, construct, create. Now she just went left. Her eyes went left, which is memory. That's our memory is something we will remember. Our great self will not be something we build. We're going to remember it. Now, whatever you got, that's sacred. You do that privately on your own. I vote your victory. I am your permanent victory in the life.
Thank you.
So, and y'all, and Cynthia, you saw it. Yes. Anybody else see her eyes? Once they went left, to me, that's the one we're going to work with. Everything else was the staging, getting ready. But then the questioning was, it was just below horizontal, which means down here is feeling. She remembered a feeling, which is physical manifestation versus knowing. Thank you, dear. Woo! Comments, kids. Comments. That means can clap is good, but also what are you learning? Please mic yourself and wave. I'm on Audible. I like to listen. Besides, watch the clapping. Carlin. Yeah. What'd you get? Come on, kids. Denise.
That was this all is so amazing. I'm really enjoying it. But I have a question because and I think you made a comment about it. You said much of our body language might be the upgrade of someone else. I've been pondering this thought for a while now. So I'm going to ask it. As I'm doing these upgrades and learning this stuff, is it possible that family members, close family members like my son and grandkids even, there's stuff happening in them? I mean, stuff is coming up.
What's your heart say?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So now, wait. And I mean, so a couple of things. So when I first did my trainings with Dr. John Ray, my first training, I was with him. He taught me body electronics, etc. I'm this new kid, backward ego balance, really shy, genius, highly intuitive. I'll put it that way. Extraordinarily highly intuitive. Couldn't shut off anything, and was struggling with human stuff. And I'm sitting there. My roommate Leroy Ruck had just come in, and we were put together in a hotel room because they said we'd share a hotel room. It was in the middle of April in Manitowoc Waters, Wisconsin. I had sandals because it was spring. I walked outside in the morning. There was 14 inches of snow, which I thought was interesting. Anyway, so Leroy and I were up most of the night. We're in the same spiritual practice. It was just amazing. We got put together. So I'm sitting in class. All of a sudden, my left shoulder starts aching. My left shoulder starts aching. My left shoulder starts aching. And I'm working it, and I can't even get it to move. I know how to. So I'm just the room's set up like the seats are coming back at a 90 and 90 from each other. And Dr. John is up here. And I'm just, for some reason, looking around the room, and there's Leroy back over here, way back over here, rubbing his left shoulder. And I go, "Is this you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I just loved my pain, and his pain went away. And at that point in time, I wonder how much, especially, let's say in high school, junior high, going through puberty, all that other stuff. And pubescent means we have all kinds of new hormones which activate our connectiveness. So I remember junior high and high school, how crazy it was, and nobody teaching us that we're tuning in to things in the world. So now I move upscale. I'll share it with you, Denise. I'm my age of 26. I'm fully in the game for 6 years by then. My sister, 2.5 years, my senior, my dad, both Native American blood, basically black, brown eyes. My dad, black hair. You've heard all that. They had to get their driver's license changed blue, and they didn't do any of it. So you tell me, I didn't know that back then. I just knew everyone in my world is moving upscale. That's where when I might as well go all the way, because my creator's using me as a oneness lightning rod for everyone else to already be raised. So Denise, do you get forgive and love and shine, and then include your family already victorious?
Yeah.
I
choose to get it.
Well, and this is me too. Everything I'm about is not, it may not be as simple as I just described, but yet that's the ideal.
Yeah.
So how about I forgive myself?
I forgive myself
for resisting my family's resistance.
For resisting my family's resistance.
Yes. And then I empower myself.
I empower myself
to be co-empowered with my family.
To be co-empowered with my family.
I forgive my family.
I forgive my family.
For no reason.
For no reason.
I forgive just because I forgive.
I forgive just because I forgive.
Love is forgiving and giving and giving.
Love is forgiving and giving and giving.
So now what happens to your family now that you're doing this right now? Notice the breath.
They're upgrading.
Yes. And how about you can have them already be upgraded? This is the blessing we can bring to each other. I can have my family already raised. This is what voting permanent victory of light is. There's no, it's okay to have process, but how many love the idea of I am my family happy?
Yeah.
Say it, Denise.
I am my family happy.
And how many like having family members that already see your perfection? I do. Does that help, my dear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Things to. Me too, honey. Me too. And I choose to make it fun and easy. The commitment thing is a really big deal. Yes, everybody, I recommit. And then not if you're off course. If you go, oh man, I'm off course, you go off course even more. Oops, I recommit. Oops, I recommit. Oops, I recommit. Anyone else? Comments, and then we're a little over time. Dawn. Where's that button?
There it is. Okay, you were just talking about with Denise here on. Okay, because there. I feel a lot of people around me.
Say it again.
I feel
Say it
a
again.
lot of you.
Yeah, say it again. Yep.
I feel emotions of other people, pain of other people. And
Silly
when she was
girl.
talking,
Silly girl. No, you feel your experience of their pain. You don't feel their pain.
okay, thank you.
Ah, what? How many saw it? The one
Yes.
finger ninja move. Wah-ya! Go ahead. Now say I love my experience of my world.
I love my experience of my world.
I raise my frequency to transmute all into God, something like God is the only presence of power acting here.
God is the only present power acting here.
What he said. The God is the present. The thought forms inside going, don't say it.
Yes,
Slow
yes.
it down. No, you have to recommit.
I recommit.
Yeah. And so I did the same thing when I realized, oh, I started worrying about, I am a sponge. No, you're a sun. So how do you feel now that, Dawn, that you're a sun? The dawning of the how word.
Amazing.
So how about I ignite love everywhere I go?
I ignite love wherever I go.
Now get your head saying it like this. I ignite love everywhere I go.
I ignite love wherever I go.
And I'm saying I ignite love everywhere I go. You're saying I ignite love wherever. No, I ignite love everywhere I go.
I ignite love everywhere I go.
Say it again, dear.
I ignite love everywhere I go.
And all of you, if you could see through my eyes, you will realize this is a huge aspect of Dawn's mission in life. She was just in the counterfeit. Voter victory. All right, kids, we'll be, Cynthia, do you have any announcements for us?
Just join our class tonight, our Mastery of Commitment class.
Yeah.
Last week was stellar. You can get the recording, jump in for tonight. You get the handout. You can do the work on your own. You can listen to your recordings. And if you have a friend that you invite tonight, they can join at a 50% savings. So please join us tonight. Mastery of Commitment.
And you have, by the way, you have time to listen to the whole first one before you jump into this. So it's like cool.
Yes. Yes. And there's the link is in the chat already. So guys,
and you
jump
can email
in.
us at support@masterysystems.com. That's support@masterysystems.com. That's support@masterysystems.com.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. We got to go, Jess. What quick?
It's quick and it's good. In Hebrew, pineal, the pineal gland. I don't think I've told you yet. Pineal means the face of God in Hebrew. On that note.
That's an awesome note. That was worth all those seconds because they're eternal. Thank you, dear. All right. Bless you all. Love you all.